Hey KU fans, welcome back to Austin, Texas, inside the Frank Irwin Center. Tough place to play all of a sudden for Kansas, Benton. 73-63, the home team wins. Texas hasn't won here in a handful of years. They haven't won in 10 tries against Kansas, and all of those things are gone now with a 10-point victory on Tuesday night down here in Austin. I think the most impressive thing from a Texas standpoint is they led for 37 plus minutes of this game while Kansas led for 9 seconds.
Yeah.
When's the last time you heard that?
What was it, 2-0?
Probably, right? Yeah, I didn't even look.
I think Devon Dotson had a really promising
right.
push on the fast break, go lay it in, pretty,
Sure.
nice start. Really a great.
Enjoy that 9 seconds.
Yeah, it was really a sign of everything to come.
Right.
I mean, it was everything you wanted in a basketball game. Pretty on both ends of the floor. Just a lot of fun offense to watch.
I thought I saw you crying at one point, but that was for a whole different reason.
Yeah, that might have been about Kyrie Irving or something. but yeah, I mean, it was an ugly game.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, neither team played that well, obviously. And I mean, it was kind of one of those things where, like, if KU was going to win, they had to have a grinded out type of win, and there weren't enough players making those type of grinded out plays that were going to get that done tonight.
Yeah.
How's a guy who's playing his 7th college basketball game?
By far your best player.
By far. 24
yeah.
points for Ochai Agbaji in his first career start. And he wasn't even very good at the very beginning.
Right.
But he went and took a seat on the bench, came back in. Great for the rest of the night. Nobody else, though, came close to doing that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, that was the thing that struck me. You know, not only was it just his 7th game, but as you mentioned, he started tonight in place of Lagerald Vick. And you would think for a young kid doing that for the first time, he would be nervous, for lack of a better word. Just maybe a little bit turned up in the wrong ways or fearful or, oh, it's a big moment. None of that. He was by far their best player. I thought Dedrick Lawson, who shot it horribly, 4 for 15, give credit to Texas for a lot of that.
Oh,
they
yeah.
defended the hell out of him. But what I was impressed from him was the fact that he didn't let those Texas defenders and the way they guarded him and his missed shots, he kept with it. You know,
yeah,
I mean, it wasn't amazing.
He's going to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
He's going to fight through a rough offensive night when shots aren't falling. And I think Texas is one of the rare teams in the Big 12 that has like athletic, long bigs like Kentucky has. Not as many of them, but they have that similar type of athlete.
Sure.
And that's the kind of guy he struggles to score over.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think Texas did a good job of playing team defense as well, where anytime that Dedrick got a catch, the whole defense kind of shifts, you know, just kind of get in that overhelp position almost, just to make it impossible for him to get into the paint or try to go off the dribble when he's facing up. And I mean, they did a terrific job of taking him out of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a taste of KU's own medicine. They loved to double and trap the post, and Texas did it all night on every catch, almost every catch that Dedrick had. He had a few moments where he looked like his old self, but I asked him after the game, you know, hey, are you to the point where you feel like you have to have a big night for this team to have a chance? And he flat out said, yeah, I think so, you know, and good for him for admitting that. Followed that up by asking him, hey, is that too much pressure on you? He said, no, not at all. I take that on my shoulders. I'm happy to do that. That's why I'm here. That's why I play here. So, you know, not the best night, 4 for 15, 13 points, 7 rebounds, no double-double, obviously, but, you know, not because of lack of effort. I mean, he was one of the few guys that competed and tried. I thought Quentin Grimes was a non-factor after an early make. I thought Lagerald Vick knocked in a couple of threes, sort of like Kentucky, 10 points, a couple of threes. Neither one of them really that key in this game. Devon Dotson played hard and competed. David McCormick was out there. Mitch Lightfoot was out there. I mean, that's your team. That's your team right there. And Self, I thought, was really interesting afterwards. Someone from the Texas papers, Kirk Bowles, asked him, you know, is this a rut that you're in? And he said, no, I don't think it's a rut, but I do think we have to recognize that our ceiling is not way up here with this team. We have to bring it down here. Doesn't mean good things aren't ahead. Doesn't mean they can't accomplish some of their goals, but the national title talk and top 5 talk, I mean, this is a team that just keeps falling. It's kind of amazing that they're only 11th, that they haven't fallen farther. This loss, it'll send them tumbling. They've got a big game on Saturday against Texas Tech, which if they can find a way to win that one, it might neutralize some of this. But But bottom line, you can't lose a game here. You can't lose a game at West Virginia.
Right.
And they're doing that. Now they've lost 2 in a row overall with that Kentucky loss in there. They did that last year. They did that a few years before that. I mean, they did 3 in a row one year, not too long ago. So not the end of the world, but I thought it was real interesting too. I'm going to write more on this in the days to come. But Self talked a lot about, look, we have pieces. It's on us, the coaching staff, to figure out how to make it work, how to get the kind of offense we need. Because right now what they're doing is just not pretty basketball, like you mentioned. And it's just an offense that's just laboring and struggling to get anything that looks like anything you've seen from Kansas before.
Yeah, and how many games do we look at the box score after the game and they have more turnovers than assists?
Yeah.
Like, that's a consistent thing with this team.
Right.
And I think that's like a perfect sign of how this offense has never really gotten rolling at any point this season.
Right.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle in the half court. They try to play through Dedrick Lawson. Sometimes it works. It definitely works when the opponent doesn't have the type of defenders to slow him down,
Yeah.
But I mean, just like you're struggling to find points on so many occasions because so many guys are all over the place. Is Vic going to have a huge night? Is he not going to show up at all? I mean, and that's why I'm sure that had to do a lot with why he lost his starting job. Self didn't talk too much about that tonight after the game.
Didn't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody
it's
asked, is that permanent? And he said, well, he was our best player tonight. I think that answers.
Yeah.
I think that answers your question.
No reason to move Ochai back to the bench.
No doubt. There is reason to figure out this road thing, though. 1-5 in true road games for Kansas now. And they'll head home this weekend, but then a road game at K-State next Tuesday looms. We'll be there, of course. We'll be at all of them. But the question now is which Kansas team will be there. 1-5 on the road, 16-5 overall, and 5-3 in the Big 12. It is definitely a race. For Benton Smith, I'm Matt Tate from the Irwin Center in Austin, Texas. Thanks for checking out KU Sports Extra. We'll talk to you guys again real soon.